Thanks for staying with us. I've got my guest, Pam Weston, here with us now. And for years, Pam has worked with Fortune 500 companies to help them engage their employees. And she has developed all of this knowledge and put it in a book. And she's here to share with us about the book, about workshops that she has to go along with the book. So welcome, Pam.
Thank you for having me.
So glad you could join us today. So you're from St. Louis, from East St. Louis originally.
Yes, I'm from East St. Louis.
And you've been, has your whole career been right here in St. Louis?
Yes, my entire career has been in the St. Louis area.
Okay, good. So you've been working with some of our large employers here in St. Louis, and you've been focused primarily on employee engagement. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Mm-hmm. Most of my career has been in internal communications, executive communications, so working with senior leaders and their teams to help them communicate more effectively and engage their employees. And the different roles have included educating employees about how their jobs connect to the strategy of the organization.
So would you say that these are issues that tend to come up in larger companies, or have you ever worked with smaller companies with the same issues?
I've worked for large as well as small organization, and employee engagement is something that every organization works on. There's a quote that people don't leave organizations, they leave their managers. So I think the latest Gallup poll is that 75% of employees who willingly leave an organization leave because of the manager. So employee engagement is something that every organization works on.
So do you find in larger companies with engaging employees at any level of really understanding, like you were saying a moment ago about the strategy of the business, that they can, in a large company, maybe feel lost or not feel a part of what the mission of the company is, what the goals are, and that's where you come in?
I would say it's really focused on the leader. If the leader is effective, and some of the things I talk about in my book, if they're effective in engaging employees, it doesn't matter if the organization is large or small, but if they take ownership of making sure that employees are connected, employees will feel a part of the organization no matter what size it is.
So what are some ways that the management team can help employees feel more engaged?
Well, number one, I would say, I just can share from my book, so just prioritize employees, and that means making sure that employees are a priority, challenging yourself as a leader to communicate to employees beyond the corner office, and making sure that other people leaders and managers across the organization are also modeling that behavior and making sure employees know why they show up every day.
So is this, it's hard. It's not easy to do, and it's not something that managers are necessarily taught along the way. So that's where you come in to help with that.
Right. Yes, I would say yes. And in many instances, there are managers who may be good technically, but they may not have ever been a people leader, so they don't have that skill set.
Okay. So you've probably seen this time and time again.
Yes, I have seen that throughout my career. Yes.
Yeah. So what are some of the things, give us an example of something that you might help a manager who doesn't have the background in people management. What's one of the more basic things that you can help them to be a better or more effective leader?
One of the most basic things that a leader can do is shift their mindset to think about people first before the bottom line. So once they shift their mindset, then they can position themselves to start modeling the behaviors, and the behaviors are, number one, communicating with employees, working to understand, working to help employees know that you care about them, so being engaged in the things that matter to employees, because at the end of the day, it's about achieving the mutual goals of the employee, the leader, as well as the organization.
So I've heard actually a leader in a large St. Louis company once said that treat your employees almost as if they're your children, like guide them, help them, correct them, but don't alienate them. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, and I also say just treat employees like they matter, right? As a leader, it's up to us to own the experience that employees have in our organizations, and we should want to know what's going on. Get to know what you don't know, and make sure that the experience that they're having is the same experience that you're having.
Yeah, very good. We're going to come back to that in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to learn more about what's in the book and at the workshop. So thanks so much, Pam, and thanks for staying with us. We'll see you in just a moment.